Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of ZooCrafting, or should I say ARG mateys! I am in my pirate costume because it's October and I just can't wait for Halloween. So I'm in my pirate costume, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, and I figured I should be a pirate this year because we're working on Pirates Alley and I like pirates and I want to, well, I do kind of want to be a pirate. I want to be a good pirate. Just in the spirit of pirate things. If that makes sense. I don't really want to loot and plunder and be a terrible person, but I hope you know what I mean. We're off to a great start, aren't we? Okay, so if you notice up here, I've changed a couple things, and we also have a tortoise. We have a tortoise in the exhibit. He is not going to live in this exhibit, but I managed to tame one, pick him up, and put him in here for testing purposes. I don't remember your name, but thank you so much for the suggestion of just tossing sugar cane at him. And he picked it up, and I could name him. So that is how you tame a Mo Creatures tortoise. But he's not going to actually be the tortoises that we put in these exhibits. And I'll get to that later on, but I put him in here for testing to see if he could actually jump. He can't, so I think the 1 block high walls are rather safe. I went ahead and I put in the glass on both sides, and I finagled some things. I can't remember how it was the last time. It's been a while. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I added this rooftop canopy because, you know, visitors need shade and the tortoises need some shade too. Again, this side is going to be gopher tortoises and this side are going to be red-footed tortoises. So this side is decidedly less finished, but I think we're going to focus on the gopher tortoises today because, yeah, you know, it's best to focus on one thing at a time. And I have a couple questions about the red-footed tortoise. So we'll get to that later. Maybe not this time, but maybe later on. And we'll work on this exhibit. So I need to figure out what to eat because I'm hungry. I have a couple of the gifts from Siri. I think we'll take some vegetarian lettuce wraps and some lemonade to wash that down with. And let's go ahead. You know what? I'm thirsty instead. Let's have some lemonade. Ah, that's tasty. Okay, and let's go ahead and put these on because you never know when you need to go for a swim. Isn't that right, Horace? I'm sure we will find a home for Horace somewhere else. But for now, he was our guinea pig of sorts. There. Oh, hey! You can put them on your head. Oh, I did not intend for you to come in here. You're on my head. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to move you. Okay, we're gonna do this. I don't remember how I got him here, if we're totally honest. There we go. Okay, we'll move you in here and I'll figure that out later. So the idea is gopher tortoises are, let's see, they live in North America, in particular across the state of Florida in the US, and kind of along the Gulf Coast into Alabama, Georgia-ish. So they like sand dunes and sandy soil and that kind of thing. They don't really get that much shade because there's no real big trees in dunes. So we'll give them some shade just as some precaution. Oh, I have no materials. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where did all my carpenter's blocks go? You see this? I'm not prepared. Okay, you can go there. Do I really? Really? Where did all my carpenter's blocks go? Okay, well, as I jabber on, we'll get some more building materials real quick. But yeah, so they like sandy areas and sand dunes, and yeah, so we'll definitely fill in some vegetation, give them a little small pond, because I don't think they'll drown, but they'll need some water, because even though tortoises in general don't require much water, and they can go a very long time without food or water, it would be, you know, a nice thing to give them something, you know, something anyway. Let's see. I'm not quite sure. Let's not give them dead grass. I refuse. So maybe those will work. And then we need some, I don't think I have any spare carpenter's blocks, but I do have a ton of dark oak. Apologies for the noise in the background. Pippin is going insane. I'm not entirely sure why. But she is. And I was really trying to ignore it, and I'm failing so hard. Okay, so let's head back up and get crack-a-lackin'. So we also probably want to put in some grass. They don't really need too much grass, I don't think. Oh, right. I was like, where's my food? There's my food. But yeah, I don't think they generally need that much grass in particular. Here we go. We'll do this, and that should be plenty of carpenter's blocks. Do I have a hammer? Or did I break my last hammer? I don't think I have a hammer. Crumpet. Well, no hammer in there. We will we'll go back. Yeah, so we'll have a little bit of everything, and on the way we can also get a couple buckets full of water. So it's a small exhibit, and there will be a bunch of things, because one of the things that tortoises are known for, don't mind me, I hope you have a hammer, good sir. No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I've lost all my carpenter's hammers. That's okay. We should be able to make a new one, I think. Unless it's hiding in here, we should be able to make a new one. Carpenter hammer requires, marvelous. It requires 3 ingots, but I think we can afford that because hammers are important and it's kind of necessary. There we go. Okay. Marvelous. Okay. So let's get some orange dye because I think we'll need a little bit more. It's not the side that I want. This is the side that I want. Let's just go ahead and harvest them all. There we go. Okay. Onward and upward. So, one of the most notable things, I guess you could say, about gopher tortoises is they dig burrows. And they are known for their burrows because that's what makes them a keystone species. The burrows are not just home to the gopher tortoises, they are indeed home to over 100 other species. Sorry, I had to look down at my notes. I did look this up before I started this. Okay, where's the leaves? There's the leaves. Oakley. Oh, those were gifts from Siri. Here's our mangrove leaves. That should be enough shade for our gopher tortoises. But yeah, these burrows are home to 100 species in addition to the gopher tortoises. You can find rattlesnakes, armadillos, a bunch of insects, a bunch of probably very small mammals like mice. And they're just extremely beneficial to, well, the burrows themselves are beneficial to more than just the gopher tortoises. So, you know what? We're going to extend this by 1 and see where that gets us. Whoops. It's hard to talk about facts and build at the same time. So there we go. Oh, I didn't pick up the water now, did I? Okay, so I think we'll put the pool here. I think that sounds pretty good. That's not too terrible. And we'll make the burrow the centerpiece. And actually, we'll add some grass back here. And we'll mitigate the appearance of dirt there some other time. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so let's get some grass and let's get some water. We have grass here. And then I have buckets, right? Oh, I already have some water buckets. Marvelous. We should only need 2. So let's go ahead and fill this in. I know this was for the red-footed tortoises, but we can always get some more if we need. Yeah, that looks good. And then there we go. Okay. Marvelous. Now we have a little pond. Don't worry, they're not going to drown. We will ensure that they won't drown. So, you know what? Let's actually extend this way a little bit. Make it look a little bit nicer. Right? Okay. There we go. Marvelous. And then the burrow will go here. So these burrows can be huge. They can be up to 50 feet long, and a gopher tortoise on its own territory can have multiple burrows. Let's see, how does one make the collapsible? Oh, okay. So we'll do that. That should be more than plenty. I have never used this before. Yeah, so if any of you guys have ever been to Florida, oh goodness, it's already doing it for me. Slightly uncomfortable with that. Can I not? Oh, I see. Okay. So, oh, well, that's confusing. We'll get some sand. So if you guys have ever been to Florida, it's hot, and in particular on the sands, in a place that isn't the shade, it can be really, really hot. So these burrows can actually be like 5 to 10 degrees Celsius cooler than elsewhere. I have no idea where I'm going with this. This is huge, actually. This is massive. Okay, how do we want to do this? So we want to dig down a little bit. Problem is we're dealing with some sand. Huh. How does one make a burrow in Minecraft? Okay, I did not think about that, I guess. Oh, there we go. Okay. So those are obviously going to be sand. And I think what we need actually is to make these, if not collapsible carpenter's blocks, normal carpenter's blocks so that it doesn't fall when we dig under it. I think that's what we need to do. And then, is this one a carpenter's block? No. Okay. Can do that. We'll make you a full block at the moment. That can always be fixed. And then we dig, I guess. So this obviously is not going to be all that big. For our purposes, let's do one more. No, let's not do one more that way. Let's do one more this way. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see. We can make this some sort of half slab. That's a good idea. Okay. Here we go. That doesn't look fishy at all. Okay. Marvelous. And that way, the tortoises, you know, they don't actually need that much space. But they need to be able to get in. So let's actually increase this by 1. Do we have any carpenter slopes? I don't think so. How does one make a slope? Like that. Okay. Let's get some more sticks. It's the hardest part. And, oh. Let's make some more carpenter's blocks. Okay. We don't need very many slopes. We just need 1. So there we go. And then we can place this in here, fill that with sand so that they can come in and out. So it's kind of chunky, but we're not quite done yet. Let's set that there and set the block on top. Nope, that's not how I want to do that. Let's get the wood. There we go. Set you on top. How does that? Okay. Ooh, okay. I guess that works. Marvelous. Let's get rid of the wood. I'm too impatient to take out my tool. Okay, so let's do that. And you obviously can't. Oh boy. Okay, maybe that was a mistake putting that in at the moment. Okay. So, right, you can only alter them from the top. I wonder why that one's not going down that much. Oh, there we go. Is that what I need to do? Okay. So, let's see. Let's just go ahead. Okay, we're making the assumption that they can't jump. So we'll need to put in the slope. But let's go ahead and put in some of the plants. So that'll make everything look nicer, right? Because we already have everything laid out. There's no sea oats. I don't want to put in sea oats, I guess. I guess. So we'll put a scaly tree for in there. He'll grow. We'll put some sea lavender there. Maybe a high tide bush here. Maybe one there. Maybe one here. And then some sea sandworts. Yeah, that's a good plan. That sounds good to me. And then we'll stick one down there. There's not that much space, I guess. Because this burrow takes up a lot of space. But should be okay. Should be all they need. And you know what? We might actually redo this. So that is there. Yeah, I might work on this a little bit later. It might only go out to here. And if it's only this large, we'll put some sandwords or something there. So I think that looks marvelous. Let's see what it looks like from the outside. Oh, that's not bad. That actually looks kind of fancy. So, I know we haven't finished the burrow, but here's some more information about the burrow. Like I said, gopher tortoises are actually keystone species because their burrows are home to 100 other species. And if you don't know, a keystone species is one that kind of supports the entire ecosystem. So when they go away, the ecosystem kind of crumbles and falls away. Kind of like a keystone on an arch, if you're more familiar with architecture or something like that. So it's cool and sheltered. And species that can inhabit it include rattlesnakes, which is kind of cool, and armadillos. And it's one of the few animals in the ecosystem of sand dunes and things like that in Florida that can dig. So these burrows are really, really valuable. And let's see. So brush fires are actually very common naturally in Florida, the scrub land savanna areas with sand dunes, because it's a fire regimen environment. So, you know, periodically things burn through and the animals that live there need shelter. And they go into these burrows for shelter because the fire can't reach all the way in because the burrows extend 50 feet. I know ours doesn't. It extends very little. But yeah, so something like that, which is pretty incredible. So these are pretty incredible animals. So I am going to work on this burrow because I can't seem to build and talk and record at the same time, and then I'll come back and we'll put in our gopher tortoises. I think we'll just have a pair in here because it's very small, and gopher tortoises they're definitely less than a meter. I think they're half a meter big or 1.5 feet long. I could be wrong, but I think that's all that this exhibit can support comfortably. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I am back. So I have kind of finagled a burrow. I think it looks pretty nice. I also realized that you can just kind of walk up. You don't even need to jump, which means that you could escape off this side. So I put in another layer of carpenter's blocks and put in some crystal glass because you can barely see it, and I don't really want it to be obtrusive, but I also want to prevent the tortoises from jumping out, which would be kind of bad. So here's the burrow. It's obviously not as big as it would be in the wild, and it would normally be in the side of a hill or in the side of a sand dune. Here we kind of just made the dune with the burrow. And over here is our first gopher tortoise. There's going to be one more, but this is what he looks like. This might be his size. I know that one block in Minecraft is about 1 meter in real life, and they're about half a meter long. So he might be smaller, but can't go too much smaller. So these might just be extra large gopher tortoises. So yeah, he and a friend will be in here. If you guys have any name suggestions, please leave them in the comments below, because we will be naming them the next time we visit this area. And yeah, so here we go. And we'll also need to fix the food prep area. The food prep area will be over here, so we'll need to extend it a little bit so that we can have a chest. But in general, gopher tortoises eat grass and other plant matter and things like blackberries and other fruits, which is kind of cool. They're easy to feed, so our aquarium biologist will be taking care of that over here. And one last interesting fact about the gopher tortoises is that they are, I'm pretty sure they're listed as threatened. They're not necessarily endangered, but they're pretty close, because their habitat is very, very much threatened. Because, you know, when you think of Florida, you don't really think of the wilds unless you think of the Everglades. It's usually, you know, big resorts and towns and things like that. So they're kind of endangered. Not technically so, but they're threatened. So with that, I will leave you, and we will watch this gopher tortoise as I say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And next time we'll have something special for Halloween. And we'll work on the red-footed tortoise exhibit a little bit later. We're getting there, guys. Progress has been made. We have an animal in exhibit, and the exhibit is essentially done. I might actually put some water plants in here, but you know, it's kind of done. Things are never finished, but you know what I mean. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Oh, he's so cute.